Britton Brooks is a he's a municipal judge right now. He's been both a prosecuting attorney, he's worked with family law as well. 75% of his practice was family law, about 25% was criminal law. He said he was a prosecutor. And the first question is going to be for him. And I'm so glad you're here because he reminded me of Daniel Getty in the movie. We're so glad to see that there was a family law attorney there. But I guess the first question deals with, are family courts biased? And in this documentary, family law attorney Daniel Getty stated that he was at a disadvantage simply because of his sex. We know that this can be both against men and women, but the analogy I like to use is that breast cancer usually impacts women. It can impact men, but with breast cancer we think about women. And when we think about family courts, women can be terribly impacted, but the statistics show that primarily it is more men. When it happens to women, it's even harder though, because it's not supposed to happen to them, right? So there was, several years ago, a law firm here said that even though the rationale behind 50-50 custody is good and everything, the courts are not going to give it for whatever reason. And consequently, we have to ask them, are the courts biased? From your experience that you've seen, what are your thoughts regarding the bias or lack thereof in the family court system?
So thanks for having me, of course. Before I go into that, I've been there. I mean, I'm divorced. I went through a very long, 3-year-long custody battle for my oldest daughter. I am considered to be in my little small area, the best of Texoma, the best of my North Texas area family attorney. And yet I have expanded standard, okay? And so when I tell you that all of the things that gentleman, the attorney, said up there, I mean, it was like looking at my brother. I understand what he's saying completely, as I'm sure all of you do. Are family courts biased? So I'll start off by saying most are, some aren't, okay? And the reasons for that are not typically malice from a judge or some kind of secret behind the scenes deal with the lawyers. The fact of the matter is there has to be a winner and a loser if it becomes a contested matter. Many of us take it so to heart that the judge doesn't like us or doesn't believe what we're saying, and that happens all the time. But if I went to a group of strangers, some of the people sitting out there right now just having a drink, having a normal life, and I said, okay, I'm not giving y'all any facts of the case. There's a custody battle. Who wins, mom or dad? Most of them say mom. I would have been the same way. When I was a prosecutor, I would have said my mom. I mean, my mom was, in my mind, an important part of my life. My daddy is too. And most of us agree before we go into it that moms they mentioned, I mean, how many of y'all have had the threat? Well, our kiddo is not even 3 yet. 3 is that threatening number, right? Anybody heard that before? Yep. Okay. Because of these formative years. Of course, that's a myth. We heard the expert talking about that up there. But the fact of the matter is this. When these things start, and I tell my clients this every time, dad starts here and mama starts here, okay? If mom and dad are both perfect, no criminal history, no drug use, their text messages are just kind of the same thing. If they're both perfect, typically I see mom get the nod, okay? If mom is being extreme and doing extreme things, bringing men into the home, the new boyfriend is staying overnight, too soon, she's doing drugs, she's alienating, and dad's not doing those things, all that does is give it more of an equal chance. Even then, I've seen mom get the nod for primary. Yep. Not every time, okay? And I know there's judges in this room, extremely important judges in this room. I'll put it to y'all like this. There are no two judges the same. Not anywhere on earth. I've been in Oklahoma courts, Texas courts, all over Texas, Houston and Cook County and Grayson County, where I practice primarily, and Collin County. There are no two judges the same, okay? And I mean, I'm charging y'all by the hour right now, so let's keep on.
Thank you. Simply for the sake of time, to make sure we can hear from everybody, that we have to limit the answers. But Britton, you'll be available to talk with other people more about this as well, won't you?
Of course.
Okay.